All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a quick one. I promise. I always say that, but I promise. Yeah, right, right. I haven't played any sound effects ever. I thought I'd do that. Anyway, I just kind of I got to get breakfast going, but I just wanted to come out here and say that I'm watching all this bullshit go on. It's the same old nonsense, same old bullshit that goes on in Congress day after day, week after week, month after month. It's the same old lies, the same old shit, right? You know, Grassley comes out and is talking about how the Republicans did the right thing by raising the debt limit. Well, they have to raise the debt limit. They don't have a choice. There's no money without debt. And so it just has to keep going. And that's what these assholes don't understand. They think we don't understand. And I don't think a lot of people do understand it, is that without debt, there is no money. If the debt was all paid off today, right? Everybody, we're $31 trillion in debt. How you're not going to pay it off. It's never going to be paid off. It's just going to keep going and going and going. And they just keep putting these bills out to spend more money because they have to. That's the only way that there's more money, because we can break it down. I'm not going to get into it right now. But they're all lying. You know, our kids are born into debt. Their kids are going to be born into debt. They're lied to in school. They're lied to by, elected officials, the government. They're lied to by everybody. The banks, the military lies, the Department of Defense lies, the CIA lies, the FBI lies. They're paid to lie. That's all they do. And you've got presidents that everything in this system is a sham. It's a joke. There's not a single person out there who's telling the truth. Maybe a couple people. Maybe. Even they've probably got special interests in mind. I'd like to think that Rand Paul and Thomas Massie are honest individuals. I think they are. I even think old Grassley is too. He's just old. Him and old Johnson, and on the Democrat side of things, I don't know what you got. I guess Joe Manchin. Cinema, she's going to be an independent. She's not going to get reelected anyway, so that'll be it for her. But the whole damn thing's broke. It's like when you got a cracked block on a motor on a vehicle. You can't put a Band-Aid on it, and we keep putting this Band-Aid on this thing, and then it just gets tore off. And we all just sit here and we watch it go on. And we just accept it. We keep paying our taxes, and we keep funding these wars. We keep funding the military-industrial complex so we can go blow up brown people in countries where we have no business whatsoever. We have no business in the Middle East with the oil that's under the ground over there, because we have more here than any place. And we've allowed a nitwit to basically shut everything down, and we've just accepted it. We stopped. We broke weak, and we walked away from everything because, hey, this 80-year-old geriatric mushhead said no more, right? I mean, to me, that's not the people I know. I mean, this is ridiculous. We're letting this. These crazy drugs come in. 300 people a day are dying. And we're just letting it go on. And we're just sitting here and we don't do a thing about it. We don't do anything. We just sit here and we just because, and when I say we, I didn't elect these people. Not a single one of them. I've never voted. Even if I could, I wouldn't, because it's an exercise in futility. It's absolutely stupid. Why would you vote for these people? Those are the best we can do. Mitch McConnell, Joe Biden as the president of the Joe Biden, that's the best we can do. And he's going to run again? That's the best we can do. We have two fucking parties in a country of 340 million people. And the best we can do is a game show host and a geriatric old mushhead that's crooked as shit and corrupt beyond belief. There's no way that dude made $16 million in 2 years after he got out of office with Obama. There's no way. Sorry. It just doesn't add up. The dude never made that much in his entire life. He didn't make it off book deals. He didn't make it from speaking engagements. He had an office at a university where they said he was a professor, but he never taught a class. He may have shown up in a class once or twice, probably walked in and, sniffed some college girl's hair or something. But this is all a lie. And I'm just wondering when is this going to gain some traction here, what I'm saying? Or is it not going to? Am I speaking on deaf ears? Am I speaking to people that just don't even fucking listen, that don't even give a shit? I mean, I really couldn't care less. I'm going to live my life the way I'm going to live my life. But, we also have inside ourselves, we have we have an instinct to preserve things for the future generations, right? And I don't like the idea of handing this world over to the younger generation right now, And I don't blame them for their attitude, their lack of work ethic, or whatever else anybody wants to talk about it, because that's on us. That's our fault. We did that. We can't keep putting a Band-Aid on this shit. And, as long as you guys keep voting, it's just going to get worse. It's not gotten better. Tell me how it's gotten better. Show me where there was an election cycle where it got better. Where did it get better? I mean, you had Trump came in and tried to do some things, but then you had COVID. So you had liars behind the scenes on that. I mean, tell me, how did Anthony Fauci know in 2017? How did Anthony Fauci know that? How did he come out and say? I mean, he said, I guarantee there's going to be a pandemic during this administration. Because they were funding it behind the scenes. They're doing everything they can to make sure that Trump doesn't run again. And who knows who they're going to try and prop up and what they're going to pull this next time when it doesn't really even matter, because it's going to be just more of the same shit. If Trump wins again, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to stalwart him. They're going to, whatever he tries to do, they're going to impeach him a gazillion times. Maxine Waters, you idiots in California are going to keep electing that goofy fucking idiot. You're going to keep electing fucking Adam Schiff. And what the hell are you doing? What are you doing, California? I mean, I'm sitting here wearing a San Diego, I mean, I love California as the state. But you guys are stupid out there, man. And everywhere. I mean, why even participate in this shit? This is just bullshit. You pay your taxes, and where's your tax money go? You know how quick the government spends your tax money in your whole life, right? Every single cent that you spend in your whole working career, right? Let's say you started working part-time in college at 18. And then you work till you're 67 or whatever. They're trying to up the age now. Like that. It's a snap of a finger. It's gone. Every bit you spend in taxes, you know what that funds? Like one of those fucking missiles. That's where your money goes. And we got homeless people. We got people that need medical attention. We got people that are ending up on the street because they're going through medical bankruptcy because somebody in their family gets sick and they don't have insurance that's worth a shit because the medical system is so fucked up. And we just sit here and we just let it go on. And everybody goes, well, what can I do? Well, you know what? You can jump on board and start talking. I mean, that's the first step, is to acknowledge a problem. When there's a problem, you have to acknowledge it. You can't just sit there and just fucking act like, well, that's just the way it is. It doesn't have to be like this. This is a broken system. It's unsustainable. The monetary system, it's not, the banking system, not sustainable. There's no way. There's no way that we pay the debt off ever. And there's no way that it doesn't just get worse with the inflation, with the, the status of the dollar. I mean, you've got some of the biggest countries on the planet now have made alliances with one another, and they're breaking away from the dollar. And that was our big thing, was the petrodollar, because everybody had to use that in order to make any kind of trade. And now they're saying, fuck you. And I don't blame them. I'd say the same thing. I mean, why do you think Gaddafi got a sword shoved up his ass? He wasn't a good dude. No, not at all. I mean, he was a piece of shit, but, but then you got, asswipes like Biden. Kids, no good. Yeah, I'm doing the sound effects. Anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to say today so far, anyhow. I might come back on later, but this is just, it's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch us fly these people all over the goddamn planet, paying all this money. That's taxpayer money, and we're flying these geriatric mushheads around. We fly Pelosi to Asia so her kid can do crooked fucking deals with the chips companies, and then Paul Pelosi can go out and get a DUI, smash into somebody, and then invest $5 million in these chips or whatever, just about the same time that Pelosi and her kid go over there and make millions on that. Ends up with that weird scenario with that DePape guy. And no one's talking about that anymore because it's gone. It's yesterday's news, right? Like, we forget about this shit so quick, right? Like, even the shooters, like the school shootings that everybody gets so wound up about, when they're, a couple days later, nobody even gives a fuck. No one gives a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Louisville. Nobody cares about Nashville. Nobody gives a shit about fucking Uvalde. Nobody gives a shit about fucking Buffalo, New York. No one cares. Whatever happened with any of that? I never even heard anything about a conviction with the kid in New York. I never, Ramos, he ended up dead. They did arrest the kid in Buffalo. The kid in Louisville, he died. And Audrey Hale, she, whatever the fuck, died. By the way, who had a pair of black and white shoes on when entering the building, and had rainbow colored shoes on after being terminated, I guess is the terminology we'll use. And I don't know when this individual had a chance to change shoes. What's going on there? No one says anything about that. Everybody, it's a conspiracy theory. It's bullshit. It was an optical illusion. No, it's not. When you're sitting there, that individual goes in that school, shoots out the front doors, is standing there directly under a camera. And these are not the old school cameras of yesterday. These are new cameras. I mean, the cameras I have on my house can pick up, any color. You can plainly see that there was a different pair of shoes on this person. And that person was going through the school, taking out little kids and, administrators and staff. Never really had a place to, the police were on the scene in 3 minutes. There wasn't a place for that person to change shoes, and that person didn't have shoes with them to change. The person went in there to die. So if you go, and that was the message that he/she, whatever, sent out, was that he, I guess he is, I have a hard time calling somebody named Audrey whatever. This individual said they were going to die. So you don't take a pair of shoes to change into if you're going to go die. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like the whole Ramos thing in Uvalde doesn't make sense. And then these assholes that we sit here, that we watch on TV, that grandstand over these things, and it's all political, and it's all money, and it's all bullshit. And what are we gonna do? Just sit back and keep taking it? Just sit back and say, this is all right, this is okay, this is, I don't see it. I don't know. This isn't the place that I was raised. I can tell you that much. You know, I mean, it's just like when I was in high school, we had guns in the school all the time. Everybody had guns in their lockers. Nobody got shot. Nobody threatened to shoot anybody. Everybody had a firearm. They were all loaded in the school. No one ever, I mean, you had guys fighting after school and they both have guns in their locker. Nobody ever went in and grabbed a gun and pointed it at somebody. You went out there with these. That was it, you know? You went out there with these and you knocked it around on the yard a little bit, you know, and you know, you either knocked somebody down, you got knocked down, you say whatever. And you got back up, you shook hands, and you walked away. You had a beer, had a Copenhagen chew, whatever, you know. And I mean, I remember times getting in trouble and getting called into the office, sitting there with the guy that I just got in a fight with, sitting there in the office, you know, right next to, you know, and sitting there like, you know, talking, just don't say nothing, you know. You know, a couple times, you know, you got a black guy, dude's got a busted up nose, bleeding all over, you know, sit there and just be quiet, you know, and you go in there and you just don't say a thing. You know, and then, I mean, that was back in the day when it was like, you know, boys will be boys, and that was just part of it. But anymore, man, it's just like, now it's turned into this shit with this bullshit with these, you know, these shooters and shit, and it's fucking sad, and it's not the guns. And I've said this over and over again. It's not the guns. We have got, this is the problem right here. There's a problem with the system. You've got kids that are slipping through the cracks. You've got kids that are they're being just looked over. They're being missed. They're not being paid any attention to. They're just a number. I mean, going to school is just about like being in the prison system. Like, you go into the federal prison, you are a number. You're not a person anymore. Like, when they ask you something, you sound off with your BOP number. You don't say your name. They don't want to hear your name. You say your name, and they're gonna get pissed as hell. Like, you're a number, and that's what these kids are. We've turned our kids into numbers. They all got to do the same thing, you know. There's no variance. There's no, you know, there's no alternatives. You know, the whole idea of go to college and go into debt, and, you know, it's just bullshit. We live short, pointless lives, and it doesn't have to be that way. But we can't just sit here and let this go on. We can't let this go on. So what are we going to do? What's the answer, folks? I'm open to anything. Y'all got an answer? Sound off. Let me know what you think. I mean, and it's not term limits. It's a complete, the whole thing's got to be dismantled. I just made a comment on Forbes just a little bit ago, and it's like the old truck that I got. You know, I can fix anything on that thing, but you know what? When the block cracks, that's it. The hoist is coming out, the thing is coming out of the truck, and it's getting replaced, and that's where we're at. I mean, we got to get the hoist out, and we got to yank these assholes out of DC, out of office. You got to quit voting for incumbents. Quit voting. You people, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be insulting here, but you're not equipped. I don't speak with anybody on a daily basis that is really equipped. I run into somebody maybe once in a great while that actually knows what's going on, and that's a very fucking rare occasion. And yet you go in there to the polling place, you fill out your ballots, and you just vote partisan. You don't know what the issues are. You don't know policies. You don't know where people stand. You don't know where their money's coming from. You don't even know who they are. You just go R or D. And that's stupid. And that's the main problem, is that we're stupid. And how do we fix that? Stupid's hard to fix. I mean, stupid's very, when you reach stupid, literally, like, look it up. It's hard to fix. I mean, stupid isn't just being ignorant. It's like ignorant and believing some dumb shit that doesn't make any sense at all. Like some irrational bullshit. And that's where everybody's at in this country right now. They're either MAGA or they're whatever the other side is, the Goonie birds. I mean, to me, it's all stupid. It's all ridiculous. You know, you can call me whatever you want. I don't have a part to do with any of it. I see more common sense coming out of the conservative side of things, though. That's for sure. Because these Democrats are just out of their goddamn minds. Not to say that the Republicans aren't either. I mean, they all are. It's time to walk away. So on that note, I'm going to leave it. Y'all have a great weekend. If you're driving, don't drink. If you're drinking, don't drive. It's Friday night tonight. Go get stupid and be somebody. Go out. Have fun. You know, do your thing. Get your swerve on. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your hangover tomorrow. All right, y'all. Peace out. Maybe.